So I'm sharing some books that are important to me, and the first one I thought I'd pick is Tribe by Sebastian Junger. And this is for a few reasons, really. So Junger is a former military veteran turned war reporter. This is a bit of an anthropological book about like the ties between us as a society, about how our bonds actually get stronger when we're experiencing struggle, like in times of war or hardship or conflict. And for me, I was in a sort of lonely place, I suppose. I'd stopped playing rugby, which was my previous job. It was the only thing I'd ever done since leaving university, pretty much. And I was considering what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And I was reading loads of different things. I was kind of testing lots of my likes and dislikes. I was doing some different types of work and different jobs in different places, trying to see what I might want to do. And Junger, it just really reminded me of myself. And, you know, I'm always a bit wary of being too self-identified with a book. I think that's one of the great pleasures of reading, is identifying with other people. But I think the other side of that is also recognizing that someone else is someone else. And Junger certainly is his own person. But I recognized this impulse. He said, the sheer predictability of life in an American suburb left me hoping, somewhat irresponsibly, for a hurricane or a tornado or something that would require us all to band together to survive. Something that would make us feel like a tribe. What I wanted wasn't destruction and mayhem, but the opposite, solidarity. I wanted the chance to prove my worth to my community and my peers, but I lived in a time and a place where nothing dangerous ever really happened. Surely this was new in the human experience, I thought. How do you become an adult in a society that doesn't ask for sacrifice? How do you become a man in a world that doesn't require courage? So, Junger leaves his home and he ends up joining the military, and his life kind of goes from there. But I think this is obviously a luxury problem. This is something you experience in sort of stable societies, affluent places. And, you know, for me, that adventure, that test, that danger was in trying to be a professional rugby player and managing it to an extent. And that's what my first book, Fringes, is about. But Tribe, it came to me at this time, and it sort of explained very clearly, very elegantly, and in a very short book, it's only about 130 pages long, why these tougher experiences make us feel seen, make us feel bonded, why they make us feel like part of something, and why we miss them when they're not there. And sport is not war, that is not what I'm saying, but it sort of helped me contextualize what it was I was feeling about being outside a group and being uncertain, not having a mission. And the book really kind of goes through and explains why people end up doing sort of all sorts of self-destructive things because they don't feel part of a tribe, or why people begin to act selfishly. And it ends with a sort of call for togetherness, for solidarity, saying a sense of solidarity is at the core of what it means to be human, and undoubtedly helped deliver us to this extraordinary moment in our history. And it may also be the only thing that allows us to survive it. So Tribe, as an aspiring writer as well, it was really inspiring because it was so concise, because it was so clear, because it was so sort of muscular and hopeful and practical and well researched and well resourced and well footnoted. You know, there a depth of work and feeling and personal experience went into this. And I think those are the best kinds of non-fiction book, you know, where they mesh together things that are objectively true with a subjective truth on the side. And I loved it. I still think very fondly of it. And it's a very striking book too. But yeah, that's the first book that I'm going to share in this little series. So tell me what you think.